Imagine a form of slavery where there are no chains, no guards, no prisons. System so subtle that people do not fight it because they do not even recognize they are trapped. The most powerful form of control in history is not physical, but psychological and financial. You wake up, you go to work, you earn, you spend, you repeat. You believe you are free. But what if you are not working for money at all? What if you are working for debt? It's the currency in your wallet, in your bank account, on your screen. What if it isn't wealth at all, but a promise, an obligation, a leash? What if your time, your energy, your life is being slowly traded away through a system designed not to empower you, but to quietly own you? And what if this happened not in a single dramatic moment, but gradually, quietly, without anyone noticing when freedom ended and financial servitude began? Centuries ago, power was simple. Kings ruled by force, empires rose by conquest, and control came from swords and armies. But true domination, the kind that lasts generations, would not come from the battlefield. It would come from ledgers, from contracts, from promises. Money was once real. Gold, silver, grain, livestock assets you could touch. If you worked, you earned. If you saved, your savings held value. There was no slow, invisible drain on your wealth, no quiet theft through devaluation. Wealth was tangible, measurable, honest. But ambition changes everything. Rulers and merchants soon discovered a dangerous idea. If wealth can be represented on paper, what if wealth can be created on paper? Why stop at spending what you have, when you can spend what you claim you will have later? And thus the first silent chain was forged, the creation of value by promise. The IOU, the foundation of modern money. Paper promises began as a convenience, backed by real metals and real reserves. The notes said you could trade them for gold at any time. But if people believed in the notes, why bother keeping all the gold? Why not lend it, use it, multiply it? Banks realized they could lend more gold on paper than they actually possessed because not everyone would withdraw at once. And suddenly, banking changed forever. Money was no longer a thing. It became a claim, promise, a belief. Fractional banking was born, and with it, the power to create money from nothing but confidence. For every deposit, only a fraction was held. The rest was issued as loans. Loans created money, money created debt. Debt required interest. And interest created a permanent need for more debt. A system that could never stop growing, never stop consuming, never stop expanding, or else it would collapse. Humanity entered a new era, where money was not wealth, but obligation. Not earned, but borrowed. Not stable, but engineered to tighten around those who depended on it. The world marched deeper into this system, until the day the last anchor was severed. In 1971, the United States untied the dollar from gold. The moment gold backing disappeared, money lost its physical meaning. Currency was now decreed belief, law, not substance. It had value because the government said so and because people agreed without question. For the first time in modern history, money floated free of reality. Governments could print endlessly, banks could create endlessly, and the people, they would work endlessly to keep up. The great illusion began. Prosperity built not on production, but on credit. Nations expanded budgets, corporations expanded empires, consumers expanded lifestyles, all fueled by borrowed money. And every dollar owed meant future labor required. A cycle of dependence disguised as economic growth. Slowly, silently, an empire of debt replaced the empires of kings. People did not fight armies. They signed contracts. Homes were no longer purchased. They were mortgaged. Education was not achieved. It was financed. Cars were not owned. They were leased. The basic components of life transformed into long-term payment plans. You could have anything as long as you promised decades of your future in return. A society built not on ownership, but on perpetual obligation. Governments, too, fell under the same spell. Nations borrowed against future generations. Politicians spent money that didn't exist to win votes today, leaving the bill for tomorrow. Every economic crisis strengthened the chains. When markets shook, governments printed more. When debt rose, interest rates fell to encourage more borrowing. When banks failed in 2008, they were rescued not with stored wealth, but with freshly created money. Trillions appeared in digital form, as if reality did not apply. In 2020, money poured into existence at a scale humanity had never seen. People felt relief, but didn't notice the silent cost. Every new dollar diluted the value of old ones. Those who owned real assets grew richer. Those who owned only currency grew poorer. Inflation became the hidden tax, silently draining purchasing power year after year. A system addicted to artificial lifelines can never return to reality. It must inflate forever or fall. Look around today. Global debt exceeds $300 trillion. Most people live paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership feels like a fantasy. Salaries crawl while prices surge. Interest devours futures, and credit becomes survival. You do not own money, you borrow existence. Every major country operates in deficit. Every government finances itself through debt. Every citizen is born into a world where financial dependence is the norm. And the most unsettling part, people believe this is normal. They believe inflation is inevitable. They believe loans are freedom. They believe saving money equals safety, even though the value of savings decays. Control doesn't need chains when it has belief. No soldier is required when the prison is invisible. History has warned us repeatedly. Rome debased its currency into collapse. Weimar Germany printed itself into chaos. Argentina, Zimbabwe, modern examples of money losing meaning. Every time money becomes separated from reality, the fall follows. The cycle is ancient. Create out of nothing, promise endlessly, inflate until trust breaks. And once trust is gone, the system resets violently. Now we face a new frontier. Digital currency, programmable money, surveillance finance. Power not just over what we spend, but how and when and if. Convenience packaged as progress, compliance disguised as modern life. 3 truths emerge from this story. First, modern money is not wealth. It is debt disguised as value. Second, inflation is taxation without consent. A silent erosion of life's work. Third, control has shifted from elected governments to financial architects who operate beyond votes, beyond transparency, beyond accountability. We are trained not to question the system, because questioning threatens the illusion. And so we arrive at a choice, though most will never recognize it. Will humanity reclaim the meaning of money, or descend deeper into a world where financial chains are embraced as comfort? Freedom, if it fades, will not disappear with gunfire. It will dissolve through convenience, through digital dependence, through the belief that there is no alternative. The only defense against invisible captivity is awareness. And the moment we stop questioning how money works is the moment the chains become permanent. If this opened your eyes, do not let curiosity stop here. Share this, discuss this, and keep learning how the world truly works, because the system only wins when the public stops asking who benefits. Stay awake, stay informed, and never surrender your ability to question the structure that shapes your life.